Okay. So here, in the last class, what we saw was Sattvam Rajas Tama iti Guna Buddherna na cha Atmanaha. Satvena Anyatamo Hanyat Sattvam Satvena Chaivahi. The three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tama, you see. And those things belong to our intellect or the antakarana, not to the Atma. So once we realize that I am that Atman and these gunas do not belong to me, then it becomes very easy. But we will see that. Satvena anyatamo hanyat. By constantly practicing sattva that you destroy or overcome the other two, that is rajas and tamas. What about the sattva? Sattvam sattvena chaiva iti. By constantly practicing sattva guna, that the sattva guna becomes your complete nature. And you don't have to think about it. And you become that sattvic person. And that sattvic person, what you call the pure sattva, is actually the result in gnanam. Just like uh, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Sattvat Sanjayate Gnanam. From Sattva, the Gnanam of one's own self arises. But the problem is, it's easy to say that, oh, I am that pure Atman, I am not these gunas, and you continue to practice those things, but our old habits are so difficult to overcome. And so a slow, continuous practice is necessary. And many a time we really don't know that we have tamasic qualities. So only when we study the scriptures like this, Bhagavad Gita and Uddhava Gita, like that you will be able to contemplate and say where you stand regarding the various gunas. So just the intellectual understanding is not enough, but the constant practice and living that kind of a life is important. So it can be done only by constantly, gradually overcoming the rajas and tamas with the sattva. So Swamiji says, when sattva, when practiced for a long time, becomes the second nature to us, and its harmful effects, if any, disappear as it becomes completely pure. And this state of Vishuddha Sattva is the goal of our life. So that's up to that we had uh, read in the last class up to the page 12. Now we are going to start with the verse number 2. So I'm going to read the little paragraph before the verse 2, and then we will start the verse. He says, to the extent the rajas and tamas in our mind has reduced, to the extent sattva increases and vice versa. With the preponderance of sattva, we experience greater peace, cheerfulness, joy, enthusiasm, and so on. The senses become sensitive, the mind becomes alert, and there's greater fulfillment in life. So the following verse explains how the sattva can be increased. So in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Krishna had talked about in the 17th and 18th chapters the various aspects like worship of what kind of gods that you worship, what kind of food you like, what kind of yagnas or sacrifices you do, what kind of tapas or austerities you practice, dhanam, tyaga or renunciation, and gnanam or the knowledge, the karma, karta, buddhi, dhruti, and sukham. In 17th and 18th chapters, Bhagavan talked about and classified sattva, rajas, and tamas in each of them. Here, Bhagavan talks about the same thing in a little different way. So we will study and see how much different, and it's a very interesting way of looking at it. He says, "Sattva dharmo bhavet वृद्धात् सत्त्वात् धर्मो भवेद् वृद्धात् पुंसो मद्भक्तिलक्षणः पुंसो मद्भक्तिलक्षणः सात्विकोपासया सत्त्वं सात्विकोपासया सत्त्वं ततो धर्म प्रवर्तते ततो धर्म प्रवर्तते. I'm going to chant continuously once. Sattvat dharmo bhavet ruddhat पुंसो मद्भक्ति लक्षणः सात्विकोपासया सत्वं ततो धर्म प्रवर्तते. Okay, so let me see, where did I put my list? Akilama, you want to read?
Yes, Raghuji. Vruddhat sattva, from mature sattva, bhavet arises, dharma, pumsah, for the man, mat bhakti lakshanaha, of the nature of devotion unto me, satviko pasaya, by association with sattva, sattva arises, tatah, from that, dharma pravartate, arises, happens. Through mature sattva, man attains dharma, righteous disposition of the nature of devotion unto me, Ishvara. Sattva arises by association with sattvika things, thereby devotion to the Lord arises. We are part. Oh. So, he says you get more devotion towards the Ishvara by cultivating more sattva. And it arises out of association with sattvika things. I don't know what the sattvika things he is referring to here, Raghuji, but that's what it is said.
Right. So we'll continue to see in the commentary of Guruji, he beautifully explains all these things that as beautifully says here, that as our sattva matures means it becomes our nature, then I become a dharmic person. Everything that I look at it from the point of view of the cosmic or the bigger picture of the society and all the beings, not my own selfish self. Only when I become concentrated on my selfish self, then it becomes more rajasic and tamasic. So as it becomes sattvic, then I'm looking at the whole society, the whole cosmos. And so naturally, I become one with the total cosmos. So that is becomes my dharma. That is the righteous disposition. And what is this whole cosmos? Is nothing but that Ishvara. So when abiding with that, then naturally it's called devotion to Ishvara. So we will continue. Anjaneyulu sir, you want to continue?
Sure, Raghuji. We are part of the universe. Anything and everything that happens anywhere affects us to a lesser or greater extent. We are more affected by things, beings, or events which we are in direct contact. Therefore, when we choose to associate with things which are sattvic to the extent possible, our mind becomes more sattvic. The food we eat, clothes we wear, company we keep, books we read, etc., all affects us. Each should be sattvic in nature. For example, casual clothes create a casual attitude, whereas formal clothes make us formal in our behavior as well. Vulgar
What?
or reveal
Go ahead and read the next paragraph.
Vulgar or revealing clothes invoke desires or passions in our mind and in others also. When sattva is well developed, mature and abiding, there arises with us devotion to the Lord. That alone can be called true dharma or righteous disposition, which is characterized by devotion to the Lord and quest for the truth. All actions are virtues that do not do so are mere labor and a burden. Shrama eve kevalam Bhagavata. Any action or quality which takes us away from the Lord or creates indifference or disbelief is called adharma. So the association aspect is emphasized in the first para, like when we when we are in the sattvic nature makes us to be more sattvic. The food aspect and the clothes, everything we wear, it has got an impact on our mind, that is conveyed. Of course, food is always has an impact on the mind aspect, in addition to the other aspects like circulation of blood, adding energy to the body, etc. And when sattva is developed, we become nearer to the God, and thereby it will make us to be closer to transcending the rajas and tamasic and becoming sattvic, and then further even going beyond sattva is our goal of our life.
Right. Yeah. So, as Swamiji beautifully says, as the sattva becomes well developed and abiding, it develops devotion to the Lord in the sense that uh, your ego goes down and you are looking at the whole picture, identifying with the whole society, the whole universe, and all beings. That the Ishvara is nothing but the total. That alone is called the true dharma. So it's called the righteous disposition. Soka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Because you are identified with the whole universe. So what happens then? All our thoughts, speech and action are sattvic nature, and they abide in thought, words and actions are one. And it's not a burden to me. It becomes natural to me. That is dharma. But that becomes a burden to me. That is adharma. Because you're just trying to do it mechanically, but you don't have any faith in it. And is Dr. Nooli here today? No. Okay. Girija Amma, you want to read the
Yes.
next two small paragraphs, please? You are muted. You are still muted. Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yes, please.
Yes. What does such devotion do? How does it free us from all such qualities? The Lord answers, Dharmo rajastamo hanyat sattva vraddhir anuttam आशु नश्यति तन्मूलो रधर्म उभये हते.
Which one are you reading, Amma? The verse
Dhar-
number 3?
The incomparable virtue of devotion, which has grown from sattva.
No. You are supposed to be reading the top two paragraphs in page 14 only. Starting with Bhagavata Dharma.
Dharmo Rajastamo, shloka number 3.
No,
That's where
Amma.
I start.
No. We haven't gone to number 3 yet.
Oh, okay.
Only
So
the
then I will start.
top two paragraphs of the page.
Paragraph on page 15.
14.
14. Okay.
Bhagavata Dharma of the nature of devotion.
Okay. Sattva, when practiced for a long time, becomes second nature to us, and its harmful effects, if any, disappear as it becomes pure. For example, a person may start feeling proud of his goodness if he is rarely or occasionally so. When it becomes his nature, he becomes totally unaware of it. Lord Hanuman was totally unaware of his strength, knowledge, and wisdom. He had to be reminded of it. A cricketer who has batted only one century in his entire career will remember it as his best match. One who does so regularly loses count of it. A miser gave once in charity. He kept boasting about it. Karna's of Mahabharat fame, left hand did not remember what his right hand gave. He was generosity incarnate. Do we take pride in the fact that we are breathing from morning to night and birth to death? Do we feel busy, preoccupied, or burdened by the task? No, it is effortless. There
Okay.
is no ego or selfishness. Firm and effortless abidance in sattva is called pure sattva, Shuddha sattva. When all trace of rajas and tamas has gone, such a mind realizes the ultimate truth. Sattvat sanchayate jnanam. This state beyond the three qualities can be called a state of Vishuddha Sattva. Therefore, Sri Krishna advises Arjuna to always remain in Sattva. Nitya Sattvastha Bhav.
Okay, let's go back. I'm going to read that two paragraphs, page 14. It says, Bhagavata Dharma of the nature of devotion to the Lord is characterized by offering all the actions done by our body, speech, mind, senses, and intellect are prompted by our vasanas at the altar of the Lord. Initially, we may do such actions as a duty, but as we abide in Bhagavata Dharma, they become expressions of our love for the Lord. So, as Swamiji has been explaining in the previous two paragraphs, we see that following this sattvic gunas is the Bhagavata Dharma. And it is in the form of devotion, meaning my thoughts, words, and actions, I am surrendering it to Bhagavan as my offering. So that is all the is nothing but karma yoga. Karma yoga is spirit of surrender to the Bhagavan. All our vasanas gradually turn into sattvic because you don't want to offer anything negative to the Bhagavan, that you offer only the sattvic mind to Bhagavan. So, what does such devotion do? How does it free us from all such qualities? The Lord answers now. So, He says, Dharmo rajastamo hanyat, Dharmo rajastamo hanyat, Sattva vruddhiranuttamaha, Sattva vruddhiranuttamaha, Ashu nashyati tanmulo, Ashu nashyati tanmulo. ह्यधर्मम् उभयेहते ह्यधर्मम् उभयेहते. He says, I'm going to chant once more. Dharmo rajastamo hanyat sattvaruddhistanuttamaha ashu nashyati tanmulaha ह्यधर्म ubhayehate. Okay. And is Karpagam here today? No. Okay. Mano Naidu, you want to read, Amma?
I think Madhu Kukalagaru is there. You want to ask him?
Yeah, you are right. Somehow I don't have him here. Madhu, you want to read, sir?
Yes, sir. Dr. Guruji. Yeah. Dharma, the virtue of devotion, Rajas, Tamas, Anyat, destroys, Sattva, Buddhi, which has grown from Sattva, and Anuttam, incomparable, Ashu, soon, Nashati, gets destroyed, Tanmula, which is their cause, he, indeed, Adharma, sin, Ubaye hate, when the two have been destroyed. The incomparable virtue of devotion, which has grown from the sattva, destroys rajas and tamas. When these two have been destroyed, sins which are caused by them are indeed soon destroyed.
Go and read the next paragraph.
Yes, sir. When we say that a thing is invaluable, we do not mean that the thing has no value, but we mean that the value can be attached to the thing as it is of the greatest value or very precious. Similarly, and not plus uttama, best, dharma equal to anuttama, does not mean not best dharma, but there exists no better or greater dharma than it. It is comparable, unsurpassed, or the best. Devotion to the Lord is naturally the best, the greatest result of increased sattva.
Want to comment?
Yes, sir. It's a straightforward. When the portion of sattva is more into individual, the other two, rajas and tamas, will destroy it, and all the actions or the sins. What is going to happen with the rajas and tamas will also be eliminated. And it is here the verbiage explanation. When anybody says like invaluable, it doesn't mean like there is no value to it. But exactly the meaning is there's no comparison to it. That is ultimate.
Right.
Same as that, anuttama, Guruji says like that is the ultimate of uttama, quality. That's pretty much I got it out of this too.
Right. Yeah, you're perfectly right. So, the practice of sattva automatically removes the rajas and tamas. So you don't have to do anything to destroy them. Only thing is you avoid them and continue to practice sattva in various aspects that we are going to see. And that way, that our mind becomes completely virtuous and becomes devoted to the Bhagavan. Anuttama. So Anuttama means there's nothing comparable, nothing better than it. Mano, I want to read the next two paragraphs.
Yes, thank you. Some say, what is the use of doing one's duties, working so hard? No one recognizes my work or cares. I do not get any promotion or bonus. I alone work at home or in my job or in my institution, and so on. They are not practicing true dharma. Work done with love and devotion is true dharma. The result of true dharma or devotion is also increased sattva and reduction of rajas and tamas. We see that sattva increases devotion and devotion in turn increases sattva. Also, when sattva increases and rajas and tamas decreases, the evil, adharma, that arises out of the harmful effects of rajas and tamas also reduce. For example, greed, rajas, is the root cause of stealing. A content man, sattva, would not steal. It's pretty much saying that, what all first those sentences are telling us is, what is the use of doing my duties? I work so hard, nobody recognizes, no promotion. All these things are egocentric. They're not really practicing any true dharma. Real work done with love and devotion is true dharma. And also, when you do that, the sattva is increased and the rajas and tamas are decreased. And the second paragraph is also pretty much saying the same thing, saying that when sattva increases the devotion, and the devotion in turn increases the sattva. When sattva increases, rajas and tamas decreases. And then the adharma arises out of the harmful effects of the rajas and tamas. So, when that is reduced, then the dharma increases. And greed is the root cause of stealing. So, a sattva or the content man is not going to steal.
Yeah, very nice. So, yes, beautifully, the sattva increases devotion, devotion increases sattva. Meaning what? For me, sattva is devotion. Bhagavad Gita says, Sarvadvareshu Dehesmin Prakasha Upajayate Gnanam Yada Tada Vidyat Vivruddham Sattva. So when you're practicing sattva, what happens? When the light of discernment drawn in this body as well as in the mind and senses, then one should know sattva is predominant. And so, meaning that you are happy and blissful in your own self. Where is that bliss? That is in Atma. That abiding in that Atma is nothing but devotion to the Bhagavan. So, is Maya here today? Maya, you want to read
Hari Om.
next two paragraphs?
Okay. Narrow vision tamas causes fanatic behavior. One with a holistic vision, sattva, is never fanatic. We must note that increased sattva and devotion do not destroy the necessary characteristics of rajas and tamas, like activity and sleep, but only their harmful effects like lust, anger, lethargy, and so on. Doing evil or criminal act alone should not be considered as adharma. The following are also form of adharma.
You want to comment?
So here is talking about that narrow vision is tamas cause really the fanatic behavior, and sattvic people are not fanatic. And then he says sattva, when sattva increase, it increases the devotion. he also says it does not destroy the characteristic of rajas and tamas, like natural things, sleeping and so on. The harm is only, I guess, reduces the lust, anger, and lethargy,
Yeah.
not the natural things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the saying, doing evil or criminal act alone should not be considered adharma. I guess he will explain furthermore, because that's not the only thing is adharma. There are so many things are adharma.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So here, as Maya said, that the sattva and this devotion, when they become dominant, they really do not destroy the gunas, manifestations of the rajas and tamas. What does it mean? When you say tamas means sleep is tamas. So does it mean when you're predominantly sattvic, you don't sleep at all? Or when you are predominantly sattvic, you don't have any tendency to act in this world? No, that does not mean that. Yeah. Your body continues to work, and when the body needs some sleep, it just goes to sleep, but you're not identified with the body, and you do not sleep forever. So your sleep becomes the most beneficial and gives rest to the body, and you do not act sleepy when you are in the world. And you continue to act in this world as it is necessary to do your actions in the world, but at the same time, your mind is completely abiding in the sattvic knowledge. And so all your actions will also be sattvic. So, what are the things that are called adharma? Not just the criminal acts, but there are other subtle things that we have to remember, which are called adharma. So we will see those things as beautifully explained by Swamiji.
Hari
And
Om, Guruji. I just wanted to add there about the importance of Satvik. I recently saw a story. It talks about in Mahabharata, Dharma and Duryodhana are asked to for a test. They were asked to pick, people, good people, and basically the Duryodhana he had to pick the good people, and then find out the good people, and Dharma the bad people around. So both could not finish the job because like Dharma was basically a Sattvic person. His eyes were seeing only the good people. He was Sattvic against Duryodhan. He's more Rajasic and like he has more he thinks more adharmic. So he couldn't find a good person. So the importance of Sattvic makes you even the way you act in the world and interact.
yeah, your vision of life completely changes. You see only the good in the other person, not the bad. And you see only the bad things in you that you need to improve, not boast about your own good qualities and become egotistic. So beautifully put, Vishwa. Thank you. Okay, so here we will see what Guruji says about the various other things which are also adharma. And is Nag, you want to read, sir? Next three aspect. 1, 2, 3.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om.
Vidharma, obstructing others who walk the path of good or creating hurdles in the performance of their duties. Dharmo bhataha. For example, Ravana did not allow others to live a life of dharma and do spiritual practices. He sent his soldiers to create obstacles or destroy them. Paradharma, performing others' dharma or duties. Anya kodita. For example, a businessman does business for profit is swadharma. But when a teacher makes teaching a business for the sole aim of profit, it is paradharma, abhasa, doing dharma or duties for namesake or appearance. For example, giving money to one's servant so that he serves us better and calling it charity to the poor. Ayo.
What do you want to comment?
Well, it is pretty to say, but basically, normally we thought adharma is doing some crime or illegal activities, but even day-to-day activities, we may be doing adharma without even realizing what we are doing. I think this paragraph explains what we need to be aware of and watch out for.
Right. Yeah. So it's very, very important that we remember these things. It might not be like Ravana, but even like somebody want to go to a satsang or to the temple, then you say, hey, why do you want to go to the temple? Come on, let's go and see a movie. Like that. So, in a little things that we might be doing things that are harmful to the other people. Or same way, practicing things that are not your swadharma. Why? Because if you are doing something else, because you are doing it because you like it, not because that's your duty. So there the question of likes and dislikes come, and when you want to do only the things that you like and avoid things that you dislike, though that work has to be done. And so then only when you are doing the things in the spirit of karma yoga, then you do everything that comes along to you, whether you like it or not. So that's very important. And same way as the abhasa, Swamiji has given a beautiful example that we do things for our own sake, but we give a dharmic, what do you call, twist to it, justifying yourself of what you are doing as dharma. So that's very, very important. The way contemplate on these things and gradually change our practices. Raja Reddy garu, you want to finish that, sir? The rest of the...
Hari Om Raghuji.
Yeah.
In Bhagavad Gita, they talk about Shreya Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharmat Sanustitam. Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyas Paradharmo Bhayavana.
Right.
So, is it they're talking about number 2 here?
Yeah, correct. Correct. So you have to support to do your own things, with whether you like it or not. What is your duty? Like example, as a student, that your dharma is to study the scriptures as a student. You might like to enjoy life because your father is rich and that your father is not supervising, okay, and that is not right. Or the same way as Brahmana is supposed to do his Brahmanic activities. He can't say, oh, I want to go and earn more and so I want to become a Vaishya. No. So that might be okay in the society for worldly things, but for the aim of spiritual practice, for spiritual goal of realization, that you are going away from it, becoming Rajasic and Tamasic. So, okay, Raja Reddy garu, you want to finish, sir?
Okay. Now, before this is number 2, I have a question or comment. The comparison he made with a businessman does things, of course, he is businessman, therefore he can make a profit. A teacher should not be engaged in the business. Now, question is, a teacher gives a private lessons, private tutoring is a common thing in certain parts of the world. And of course, he spends time and he uses his skill and enhances the skill of the student. Therefore, is that considered to be business, which is supposed to be adharma?
The way I look at it, if the same teacher who is supposed to be teaching in school, and he should be able to teach in the school, and but he says, "Oh, come to my house. I'm going to teach you." Okay, that means he's making it into a profit. That whatever the salary that he gets, that he should be satisfied and do his duties. That's how I am looking at it. But if he's giving extra work time and make a little bit of profit from it, probably it's okay. That kind of a little things that I really don't know how to answer. Anybody else who can answer that?
Raghuji, if he charges from a poor man, yeah, then that will be adharma. He can do it for free. But if a rich person is willing to pay for the services of tutoring, I don't think that is adharma.
Well, no, it is adharma in the way if he says in the class, like Raghuji said, you come to my home for tuition, I will teach you better, and not teaching properly at school. Or telling the parent that your son is not doing well, so he has to come to my tuition, only then he will do well, then that is adharma.
Yeah. So dharma and adharma are not very, very easy to determine, and so you have to contemplate and unbiasedly think and act. So,
Okay, I start with the number 4.
yes,
Yes?
sir.
Yeah. Upama. Copying others without understanding or seeing one's own capacities or inclination. For example, I start doing meditation just because my neighbor does so or because it is in vogue. And the other one is chala, cheating others. Example, Ravana deceived Sitaji by disguising as a monk or kidnapping her, not doing one's own prescribed duties, student who does not study, you mentioned earlier, doing prohibited acts, number 7, example, murder, smuggling, etc. And 8, doing dharma or actions without thinking of consequences, without discrimination, impulsively, rashly, in delusion. For example, Yudhishthira pledged his kingdom, brothers and wife in gambling. True dharma is that following which man never slips and falls, even when he walks with his eyes closed. Okay. So basically, I don't know definition. I have to repeat the same thing what he's saying. Said I cannot summarize. So various aspects of things in life, they are considered to be adharma, but in true sense may not be, and because of doing a wrong thing, wrong time, no. But you see, copying others, for example, understanding and meditating. I don't know that comparison well. If somebody is meditating, obviously he may be up to it. If not just for copying sake, meditate, and that is a different, that's considered to be adharma. And cheating anything in life, that is adharma, including Ravana doing something, taking away Sitaji, and not doing prescribed duties properly, that is considered to be adharma too. You must do your duties. And doing some wrong things, killing and smuggling and murdering, all abnormal activities are considered to be adharmas in every sense. And of course, they're talking about Yudhishthira pledging his kingdom and brothers and wife in gambling. That is extreme adharma.
Right.
True dharma is that follows, which never slips, falls. That means you're following dharma, then you'll be safe and comfortable, peaceful, and not to worry within yourself, even though you're performing duties you think you're doing, but inside you'll be worrying by performing adharmic activities.
Right, right. Very nice. Thank you. So you can
But the
say,
the item number 8 is scary thing. The example they gave is a Yudhishthira, that's extreme thing. But the things they said, the outside example, doing action without thinking of the consequences, without discrimination, impulsively, rashly, or in delusion. So thinking without thinking about the consequences, it's very hard to say what consequence for every action what you're doing. I'm not clear. I understand what Guruji is trying to say here, because it's going to be very tough, because not every action we do in our life, we will be knowing consequence upfront.
there
And
are
if at all we
certain,
know the consequences, good or bad, is very hard to say.
yeah.
There are actions that we do without thinking consequences. For example, let's say in a group of people, something is missing. Without thinking, I just blame, hey, this guy took it. Without knowing truth or anything, I just tell him, put that guy in a bad spot without thinking what may happen to that guy. That is adharma. I don't know for sure if that guy took it, but I just said it just in the flow, just to get some good name, without thinking how is it going to affect the other guy. So that is adharma. But the thing I have a question is number 4, the example for upama. Doing meditation without knowing what it is, it's stupidity, but not adharma.
Who is that even
Copying.
Could I say something about it? See,
Yeah.
upma means when you want the people to give you some, upma means he's a great person, somebody will say. So if you are doing that meditation because you want to be called a great person, that is adharma. If you are doing to uplift yourself, I don't think so it's adharma. It's my thinking. That's
I think that is saying that, when somebody is actually doing the meditation, you just sit there and pretend that you are actually doing. That may be the one upama means. Upama is actually just trying to compare with somebody else, right? So here if you are actually meditation and you sit there and pretending that you are in meditation, that is actually kind of probably. That's what I understand.
Good. Yes, Sudhir, that's what I think about what Sudhir ji said. That somebody else is doing something, and then you want to repeat it without knowing, hey, what is that meditation? Why is he doing? What is he meditating on? Okay. So he might be doing meditation on Bhagavan, okay, on the Atman, and then you sit down and close your eyes, and you are meditating on what am I going to eat tomorrow, or after your meditation, okay, or that you want to become rich, you are meditating on becoming rich, okay. So without thinking, without knowing exactly what the other person is doing, then you want to just imitate without really knowing exactly what you are doing or why it should be done.
But Raghuji, if you take that same example, we chant slokas, we do puja. In the beginning, you don't know what you are doing. You just imitate your parents, your grandparents, and you do it. And you're chanting sloka. I still chant so many slokas that I have no meaning. I'm just doing it because it is a shloka. How can it be wrong? I'm just chanting, okay? And is that wrong?
Now you're not comparing the apples and apples. Okay.
Coming back to meditation, I think the example what Guruji is saying is this. Sit, because you are doing meditation. If I sit in meditation without knowing what it is, that is stupidity. But if I take a group of people and telling them, I'm going to teach meditation like Raghuji is doing, without knowing what you are doing, that is adharma. Because I have no clue what you are doing, but I'm trying to teach a group of people how to do meditation. That is adharma.
Right. So
I think Dr. Raghu, it is like just show off. He's not doing it. He don't know much about it. he just want to pretend it, and that's why I think that's what Guruji's meant. I believe so.
That's why even trying to teach others meditation without you really knowing, that's actually like a chala. Okay. Because you really don't know, but you act as if that you know, uh, and you are cheating yourself and cheating the other person. And so you might take some other example for the upama. Because somebody is, I don't know, completely forgot what I was supposed to say. So we can think about it and say that we do so many things just trying to imitate others without really knowing what and why. And so that's what Guruji is telling about that upama. Of course, not doing one's own prescribed duties comes under paradharma in a way that you are not doing your own duties, but you want to do somebody else's duties. And number 8, doing actions without thinking of the consequences, particularly impulsively. Okay. That is definitely we see in our own life. So constantly thinking but don't act, that's one bad. And thinking and acting properly, that is the right thing, sattvic thing. But without thinking, then that you act without realizing the consequences, that many a time we do. Like beautiful example is what Yudhishthira did, and we all do that many a time. Okay, like you go to Las Vegas and then you get carried away without realizing uh, that you start what do you call betting things, and you get carried away. And so things like that, or so everybody else is drinking, and then you also want to have a drink without realizing the consequences. So, so many other little things that we do in our life that are all called adharma. So that's why the heading says, doing evil and criminal acts alone should not be considered as adharma. The following are also forms of adharma. In a subtle way, we should think of all these things, and we should gradually change our attitude and actions into a dharmic or sattvic way.
Dr. Raghuji, so in a sense, all wrongdoings are adharmas. One way of putting all wrongdoings in life
Correct.
are adharmas.
Right. But the thing is, many a time what happens is when you are rajasic and tamasic, you think, hey, there's nothing wrong in doing what you're doing. Okay. And so everybody is doing it, stealing, so I also steal. Or everybody is taking bribe, so it's okay to take a bribe. Okay. So like that. And so your that is the reason that in various things the sattva, rajas, and tamas comes. And so doing things because everybody is doing is rajasic. But constantly thinking and say, hey, whether they might be doing it, is it right or wrong? And doing it what is right and avoiding what is wrong, that is sattvic. So that's the reason in the end of the 16th chapter, Arjuna asked the question, okay, we don't know a person who does not know the Shastras, but he is doing all the actions with sincerity, with faith. So is it called a sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic? So Lord Krishna says, well, even that kind of actions can be sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic because it's based on his own vasanas and attitude. So that's how Lord Krishna in 17th chapter talks about what kind of God you worship, what kind of foods you eat, what kind of yagnas you do, what kind of tapas you practice, what kind of dana you give. So you are doing it sincerely, but based on your own past experiences in life. And so that's the reason studying the scriptures and contemplating on it like what we are doing and then act properly, gradually we improve ourselves. And even though when we improve, we might be still making mistakes. That's why having satsang and steady groups and contemplating constantly, we gradually improve. We do not improve from rajas and tamas to sattva overnight. So, and now Bhagavan takes us further and takes various aspects of our daily life and tell us what is sattvic, what is rajasic and tamasic. Tejamanda Swamiji gives a very beautiful commentary on each one. So we will see that in the next class. So. Okay, so Akilama, you want to do the summary next class?
Yes, Raghuji.
Okay, very good. ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Before we hang up, just I want to make sure that the next class is 22nd, that all of you are available or most of you are going on vacations.
We are available, Raghuji.
Yeah, we are available.
We are
Good.
ready.
So nobody said you're not available. So, okay.
Raghuji, can you send the prayer one more time, please?
Yeah. Rakesh, you said something, but I couldn't hear. You were muted.
I'm going to Austin, Texas.
You're
on
going
Christmas.
to Austin, Texas.
Yeah, we will not be here also that Monday.
Two of you. What
Yeah.
about the rest?
I may not be available too.
3.
Because
Okay.
I'm in the move.
Okay. Very good. So only 3. I'm going to record it and put it in the WhatsApp group. So for those who want to listen. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Raghu. Thank you, sir.
Very good. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Raghu.
Raghuji, can you tell us about your trip little bit? Did you get to go to Ayodhya?
Good one.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
those who want to hang up, you can hang up. So I'll just talk to Maya.
Okay.
Yes, Amma. We had a wonderful time, and Kumar was very kind enough to refer me to some contacts in Ayodhya. And so Geeta and I went with 10 other members of our family. All of them together we went on 30th, on the last day of November. And that evening we were able to see the darshan of that Hanuman Gadi. And also there was a laser show of the sun god. That one and some one other thing that we saw, 3 things. And then the next day, early morning, 6 o'clock, we went for the Arati, and we had a beautiful darshan of Bhagavan right in front line. For 30 minutes, we were able to stand there for see the Arati. And then we went and saw many, actually we saw the Sarayu River Arati, but they are not really well prepared yet. The Ghat, Sarayu River Ghat is not well prepared yet for the Arati like they do it in Kashi and other places.
Yeah, they are working on it, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
And so otherwise, it was wonderful experience. And we went and saw 3-4 other places, like where what call Bharat lived, called Nandigram.
Nandigram.
And then also saw the Sarayu River, where at the end of his life, Lord Rama entered the Sarayu River, and that place we saw. And so overall, it was good experience. So, and then after that, we went to Geeta and I went to Mumbai, but all the other members wanted to go to Kashi. So all the other 10 members went to Kashi, and then they got stuck up in Kashi because of the what do you call that airline strike.
Oh, yeah. What's going on that time?
Yeah, right, about 3-4 days. And so in a way, it was a good thing that they were able to go around Kashi, and then they went to Gaya and a few other places, and then they were able to go back home. So
that was good. That happened, so they could go even Gaya. That's nice.
right, right, yeah, right.
Welcome back. We're happy you're here.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so right,
Geeta, if you have taken some pictures, share some pictures. Okay, Geeta?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Raghuji, this temple, the new temple is built at the same place where probably the old temple was there, or
yes, yeah, right. Where the old temple was there, on the top of it, the masjid had been built, and that is the place. That is exactly the place where more land was acquired by this committee, and they have built this temple, beautiful temple, and actually it's about 3 levels, and they are not really allowing us to go around what do you call peacefully, slowly, all around and see. There's the beautiful carvings everywhere, and the beautiful carvings of the whole Ramayana on the outside wall of that temple, and there is a big corridor all the way around, just like in other old temples that you see, a huge wall. In that wall, inside there's supposed to be Shiva temple, Durga temple, Hanuman temple, and a couple of other gods.
We
And
heard
all those things.
they're going to have Dasaratha's temple. Did you hear that?
Say it again.
I heard they're going to have the temple for Dasaratha.
Oh, that I don't know.
Did you hear? No, okay.
I did not. I have not heard about it.
They are building 4 more temples all around it.
Yeah.
Oh.
That they talked about, they are building. They already started at least.
You mean some other place?
No. Where the temple, this Ayodhya, the Ram Lala's temple in the middle, all 4 corners, they're building the temples.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That just like, when you go in the South Indian temples, there's a big corridor that you do the pradakshina, and all around you see the different gods. Like in the Vishnu temple, you see all the avatars, or in Shiva temple, that you might see all the Nayanars, idols, things like that. That's where Ganesha, Hanuman, Shiva, Durga, and one other god, about 6 gods, but we were not allowed yet. So they're not open yet.
Because construction is still going on.
Yeah, right.
Construction is going on. That's why.
We were able to see the Sri Ram Darbar.
Yes, we saw that.
We saw that also.
Yeah, right. So.
Okay.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Geeta. Hari Om,
Maya.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, everyone.